up? Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite deals on the Nintendo eShop, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. A shout out then to Dinosaur Polo Club for sponsoring today's video with their latest release, Mini Motorways. With that though, like, hit subscribe, join us here on SwitchCorner for reviews and deals near daily, and let's get started. As always, and I do have two winners to announce for two $10 eShop gift cards later in the video, and two more to give away. All you need to do to enter, drop a comment down below and the winners, they'll be announced in next week's video. A massive thank you then to you all for getting the channel to 40,000 subscribers. That is honestly just crazy to me, so thank you all so much. And then finally, if you are grabbing something from today's video, consider using cornershop.gg for your eShop credit. It is instant delivery, you get 10% off then with code CORNER at checkout, and the channel gets a small kickback so everybody wins. The full details of that in the pinned comment down below. Zengeon then to kick us off in this one. It's a roguelike action dungeon crawler, somewhat similar to Hades, but think a more heavily influenced anime style. The game is fun as well. I enjoyed its mix of unique characters with different skill sets, but it definitely at the same time has its problems. Namely, there's a few frame rate wobbles kind of here and there, and then the graphical style, it can get a little bit manic, almost to the point of distracting. For this price point though, 33% off, a new low price, I do think it's worth your time, and I actually do hope it receives a sequel because I think it's clear there is a passionate team behind it. Subnautica then has both entries on sale currently, survival experiences with that underwater vibe. Now I personally preferred the first entry, but I think both absolutely are gonna be worth your time. The second, it takes you into a world where, frost and ice becomes a factor in its landscape. The gameplay though, it's all about resource gathering after a crash landing, and I love the 360-degree movement thanks to its location. Throw in then though oxygen management, a unique alien landscape, and some seriously just terrifying aquatic life forms, and I think you should take a look if you are a fan of the genre. The first entry then, it's matching the low price here with 50% off, and then below zero, the sequel, that is a new low price with 50% off also. Find my review of the first entry in the pinned comment down below. A shout out then to Dinosaur Polo Club for sponsoring today's video with their latest release, Mini Motorways. This one, it's surprise dropped at the most recent Indie Direct. It's a well-loved experience over on Steam and Apple Arcade. I would describe it as a puzzle game, and the idea is simple: connect homes to their required destinations via what is a road system. Now that sounds simple, but it's really not, as the traffic increases and new pieces come into play. Think motorways, traffic lights, even things like tunnels and bridges. Fortunately though, you can make it as easy or difficult as you please, with the ability to both freeze and speed up time. It's rocking then a minimalistic visual style. It looks fantastic honestly, especially on the OLED if you own one, and I think the best bit of it all, the controls. It's going to be great whether you're playing docked using a controller or in handheld using a touchscreen. My preferred way to play then, it's going to be handheld with a combination of touchscreen and Joy-Con, but it's going to give you, after you've unlocked every single map in here, high score chasing and then daily and weekly challenges. Check it out in the pinned comment down below. Also find my dedicated video on this one. It's about 10 minutes long. It's going to break down all of the different features. I'm a big fan personally, but don't just take my word for it as well. Check out Steam and Metacritic, where the opinions are seriously high. Crysis then, and this, it's a classic in the world of first-person shooters. Here we are getting the second and the third entry discounted, both of them matching the low price with 40% off. While I don't think they live up to the first entry, they definitely still are going to be worth a look, especially at this price point. The second entry, it has you in a somewhat under attack New York. It's much more linear than the sandbox style of the first, while the third entry gets a good balance between both linear and open. For me, out of these two particular entries, the third is the strongest. It introduces a badass bow as a weapon. It's also, though, the shortest as a warning. The runtime wise, it's around maybe 4 to 5 hours, give or take. Looks and sound great though, and again, look, a weak Crysis entry, it's still going to be better than most out there in the genre. Find my full reviews for both of these games in the pinned comment down below. The Legend of Tianding then, it's one I reviewed here on the channel, so find that linked in the pinned comment down below, but it's matching the low price here, 33% off. My opinion on this one, the side-scrolling action has a dash of kind of Metroidvania in its design. It's a great time, some fun enemies, boss moments, and a stunning hand-drawn like style. The weakness, between levels, you will be exploring this world, and I don't know, it just kind of felt like a whole lot of backtracking personally, and it also kind of felt mostly unnecessary. Get through these bits though and you will have fun with this one, so yeah, what I would say is just kind of stick with it. It can take, I'd say, an hour or so to kind of get going. Hopefully though it gets a sequel in the future. They did some fantastic world building here. Axiom Verge 2 then returns with a discount of 10%. I know that is not a big drop, but it matches the low price, and there is no questioning the game's quality. Don't think it's up to the level of the first entry, honestly, but that was a game changer, so it is understandable. A Metroidvania, though, with a retro pixel look, it is still incredibly well designed, as you kind of take on the role here of Indra, exploring what is, I guess, like an alternate Earth. It is packed full of exploration though, enemies, combat, some unique weapons, and yeah, just overall, great game, more than worth your time. Definitely a very involved experience though, so I would say maybe watch a full review first, just make sure it's gonna be one for you. My pickups of the week then, it's two from the recent Indie Direct. Now first up is Soundfall, and I do want to say as always here, this is not a recommendation, rather you may want to join me for the ride, but this one, it's a looter dungeon crawler with a music spin. Your weapons, your moveset, they are most effective when in time with the music, and you can see the beat at the bottom of the screen. The game, honestly, at first I was not sold. The visuals are just kind of bland, and I do stand by that statement at this point. But what I've seen so far, the gameplay is actually fun. And yeah, I'll be dropping a full review in the coming week once I manage to wrap it up. It is a launch discount then here of 15% off. My other pickup then, that is Opus Echo of the Starsong. This one I've not actually played any of yet, but I'm really excited for it. Other entries in this series are absolutely stunning. They are standalone titles, so no prior experience required. Again though, the visual style here, from what I've seen, it looks absolutely incredible, and it's definitely a game, you know, with a heavy narrative focus alongside what is exploration. I'm really excited to jump into this one though, and I also hope to have a review on this one. It's probably gonna take a little longer though. Average completion time for this particular title, it's out on Steam and elsewhere, but it's actually clocking in at around 20 hours, so it's definitely not a small undertaking. Our first winner of the week then, it's going to Tina, who shouted out she owned the majority of last week's titles but was considering Monomals, a unique, kind of like, I guess, platformer. It's got this underwater spin though, and then it's combining things here with, I guess, like a music creator. Drop me an email though, Tina, to claim your code, and everyone else, there's another winner coming up here shortly in the video. Our penultimate game of the week then, Dusk Diver, with a new low price, 70% off. This one is a dungeon crawler of the third-person action style. Really unique idea. You join a team of gods that are fighting back against evil. The problem this game has, in my eyes, the exploration element, you know, this stunning, colourful world, is kind of combined with an extremely grey version of dungeons. It is still fun though, the action's definitely fast-paced, visceral, so yeah, check out my full review in the pinned comment down below. I still think it's definitely worth a look, but I would say kind of temper those expectations. You can just kind of see the missed potential, or at least that's kind of what I walked away feeling. Bargain of a price though, no question, and it even recently received a sequel. Our second winner of the week then, David, who's stuck in the world of Skyrim. That is a game that, let's face it, needs no introduction. Congrats though, David, perhaps the gift card will help pull you away from that world. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance to win in next week's video. The Falconeer Warrior Edition then to close us out, and this one's a gem crafted by a single developer. It's an open world style adventure where you pilot a warbird and defend this world. Think here a whole host of just aerial battles. It's a fun time though, looks stunning with a visual style that transferred to the Switch absolutely perfectly, and the gameplay, it is more than solid. It's got an air of RPG to its systems, you know, its progression and developments. That visual style as well, it may look cel shaded at points, but that's because the game used no textures. That is why it looks so stylized. It's such a unique idea that in my opinion really paid off. Being the Warrior Edition as well, it's including the DLC that expands both the gameplay and the warbirds. It's a new low price then, 40% off. And that is another week down. Will you be adding anything to the library or holding onto that cash? A shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here on SwitchCorner for reviews and deals near daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.